working on your homework for math class and it is beginning to get boring. You decide to instead draw some. Unfortunately, you never were quite the artist. Instead, lines are drawn all over your page. Lines crossing one way, lines crossing another way. You find yourself drawing your way all over your paper. The lines curve around, cutting over each other with no pattern in sight. So many intersections are on the page, you wonder what the page looked like before you even began this miraculous journey. Anyways, back to drawing lines. It is the only thing keeping you sane. Lines here, lines there, lines all over that will carry you away from all the terrible math that hurts your brain. If only lines were applicable to all of math. Why couldn't basic operations be done with just lines? Why couldn't word problems be solved with lines? Why can't everything be lines? Wait, what is this? You look over your lines to see some of the intersections have a particular quality. 4 of your lines cross over with 7 of your lines and create 28 points. You happen to remember that 28 is what you get when multiplying 4 and 7 together. How can this be? Is this a dream come true? Let's try it with something else. You decide to cross over 7 lines with 9 lines because 79 happens to be your favorite number, and why not? You begin to add up the points to discover it has 63 points. This is absolutely incredible. Maybe lines can be applied to all of math after all. Maybe there is hope after all. You decide to test this newfound theory on a much larger number now. How about 16 and 5? You cross the lines over only to find that there are way too many points to count up. You are suddenly depressed. How can this be? Could there be an easier method? What if you drew one line to represent 10 of the lines and then draw the other 6 lines? You try this and discover there are now 35 points. You wonder now how this can work. Then you remember that 5 of the points represent tens, and so that means that there are really 30 plus 50 points. You double check to make sure that this is correct and find that 16 times 5 is in fact 80. You are related and decide to try this rule on your homework. You look at the multiplication problems given and find that your first problem was 18 times 26. You start with your lines 2 and then 6, then you cross 1 and then 8. You find that there are 48 single dots and 24 other dots. You add together the 240 plus the 48 to get 288. You are eager to figure out if this is the right answer and enter it into your calculator, only to find out that it actually is supposed to be 468? How? No way this could happen now. Then you suddenly remember that when 10 is multiplied by another 10, it gives you 100. Then you think that maybe the 2 points that are created from the 10 sticks will actually give you 200. You take these points away from the 10s to get 22 actually, or 220, that adds 48 with the 48 other points. This gives you 268 points to add with the extra 200 from the 10 sticks. All of a sudden, this theory is working out. You wonder how life could have ever gone on before you knew what sticks could do for you when it comes to all these terrible math things. Okay, time for the next question. Oh my gosh, your teacher must be trying to kill you because he just gave you a triple-digit number. Fortunately, you have your trusty lines. You find the question 132 times 36 not as intimidating anymore. You line up and start adding away. You find 12 ones dots, 240 tens dots, and 900 100s dots. Then you look at the line from the 100. You think and you just count them as 100s, and you get another 600 dots. Finally, you have 3 dots left. You theorize that the 10s and 100s multiplied would give you a thousands number, and go with 3,000. You add up your 3,000, 12, 240, 900, and 600 to get 4,752. You quickly rush to your calculator to see if this is true, and it is. Oh, the wonders of lines. Homework no longer has to be boring with lines. Numbers make sense again, and all is right in the world. Lines go everywhere. Okay, back on track. Time for the big challenge. The 245 times 364. You are no longer intimidated. You draw all 24 lines and begin counting intersections. You count 20, then 160, then 300, then 2,400, then 8,000, then 1,500, then 24,000, then 60,000. You add these up to a whopping 96,380. For this one, you must double check even though you know you are right. You see the 89,180 pop up and think, no! What did I do wrong? You look back over your lines. You realize that you counted the 4 lines intersecting the 200 all wrong. You realize that each point represented 100 and that you counted them as thousands. You are frustrated with yourself and take away the extra 7,200 from what you originally got and find out your method does indeed work. You feel you must break the news to the world of your magnificent discovery. The world needs to know of the magic of lines and multiplication with it. You type into Google lines and multiplication only to discover that it has already been used by people and is called Chinese multiplication or the line method. Oh well, there goes ViHart multiplication. Anyways, you look back and realize that it was not your homework after all. This is your child's 6th grade homework, and you have been out of school for years. Oh well, at least you still have lines.